up here. 0.0546. So this 0 would not be significant. Right. Right. Okay, so you'll miss the first comic if you go and watch this again. It's okay, right? So these are the rules. Going forward, everybody got these down before I move forward? I don't want to rush it. No, we're still writing. Okay. So on this one right here, the only ones that are significant are those three. And I probably should have shown you on this one. This one is significant, this one, and that one is significant. All these are significant. Okay, are we good? Yes, sir.
If it's 0.0, how is that 0 significant? Like if it's the 10.0, how is that 0 significant?
This 0 is significant because it shows that I measured to the 10th place. That I know at this point it's a 0. Okay, it could have been a 0.1 or a point, but it happens to be a 0.0. If I didn't put the point there and it was just 10, I could have had 11 or 12. It could have been close to that, and I just guessed it was 10. The last number on any of them is a guess one, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, good questions. Anything else? We ready to roll? Next question, next thing. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go over that in just a second. You're ahead of me. Okay. All right. So these are the other rules that the other teachers came up with. So they say non-zero integers. That's my first rule. Numbers 1 through 9 are significant. So how many significant figures do I have here? 4. 4, and you'll hear me call them a lot sig figs. Okay? Rather than have to write out significant figures every time, I just do sig figs. Okay, leading zeros. This is just ones that tell me how small. And these were not significant. So how many significant figures here? 3. The only ones that are significant are these. So I'm going to say 3 sig figs. Okay, captive zeros. Those are the ones between, sandwiched. So this one does count. Good. So there are 4 significant figures. Are we getting this? They use fancy words, but it's the same stuff that we've been doing. We okay to go forward? No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yes. Okay, so practice. Try on your own the next 3. And I'll put up, see how many significant figures there are. Remember, number 1, any number 1 through 9, significant. Number 2, any zeros sandwiched between 2 numbers are significant. Number 3, any 0 that tells me how well I measured is significant. And number 4 was that it not. If it tells me how big or how small, the 0 is not significant. Okay? I'm going to pick at random. People will tell me, so make sure you got them done. Okay, I'm going to have randomly you come up here, and I want you to arrow the ones that are significant and tell me how much is up there. Caitlin, I'm going to have you do one. Anne, I've got to use names. Sienna, will you come up and do number 2? And Zayden, will you come up and do number 3? One more. And then write 4.
We never talked about the trailing zeros.
You're right. We did. That was when you were talking to me about the 10.0. Those are trailing zeros.
So then both of those zeros count because they're
right.
How
well I measured.
But then if they're before the 3, then they don't count if it's not.
Right. If it's 9.003, it still counts. They're sandwiched between 2 numbers.
Yeah, but if it's
0.00. then it wouldn't. Right. Right. I think they were just saying I forgot to talk about the trailing zeros, and you're right. In your notes, you have a place for trailing zeros. I think I skipped over it. Okay. Number 1 should have how many? 4. Okay, because the zeros in that one, 9.0, I'm going to just put up here. 300? 300. These two do count because they tell me how well I measured them. They're after a number after 0, which tells me I measured to that place. Okay, and then the next one was what? 9300. Just 9,300. These zeros don't count because they just tell me how big, right? So because they tell me how big, it doesn't count. So this one has 2, this one has 4 sig figs. Okay, now 2 is correct here. Almost, this one is right, 4, because they all count. This one you almost got, but you forgot that that 0 does count because it's sandwiched. Those ones don't, so you caught that, but this should be, instead of 3, this should be 4. Okay, so if you got that right, you're doing well. We okay? Everybody understand? Okay, going forward. An invisible sneeze droplet contains 2 million germs. Our hand sanitizer kills 99.99% of germs. 2 million times 0.01. Ew. There's still a lot of germs left. Okay, taking measurements with the correct number of significant figures. Measurements need to have a number with a unit. You need to make sure you add the unit. So an example, you need to have this. If I measure this room and I say, oh, it's 12.5. 12.5 what? Meters, yards, inches, feet, what? Okay, so I need to be able to have that measurement. So let's look at this. We're going to be doing some measurement in lab. So say I had to measure a crayon here. This is in millimeters, so I know my unit is going to be millimeters. What do I know for sure? What numbers do I know for sure? I know for sure that it's 11 point something, right? So I put the 11 here, point. What else do I know? 11.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little past 6. Yes? I know I enlarged it. Yeah, just. Is yours not to 11? No. Okay, so look at yours and see. I'm just going to show you on this one, though, and then you get a practice on yours. So I know here's 11.6 right here on this line right here. It's past that, but I'm still going to put 11.6. When you're in lab, you write down what you know for sure and go 1 past. So then I look and I say, you know, that's almost halfway through between those 2 lines. So I'm going to put a 5. And then I'll put the millimeters after. And that's what I'll report. So you do it. What do you think you get? Everybody look. And do your best. What do you think? What do you get? What's yours? For sure. What do you know for sure? 9. Okay, what do you know next? I see it here a 6, I hear a 7. I think you got overruled. Okay, a 6. Can you estimate the next number? 7, 6. If you're within 1 or 2 on that very last number, it's okay. So if, say, I put a 5 and somebody else put a 6, it's all right. Somebody put a 7 and I put a 5, that's okay. So you should be within 1 on that last one. It's just a guesstimate, okay? So this one right here is my unsure number, okay? But I want to have the for sure numbers. Okay, so let's go forward. We'll also have scales that we'll use in lab. Now, a lot of times the scales will just read, boom, 2.094, and it'll stay there. But sometimes it will go 2.094, 2.095, and it'll keep going back and forth, and it won't stop. At that point, you can say, okay, it is 2.0945, because it's in between. Okay? So that makes it pretty easy there. How many have heard of meniscus before? Not on your knee. Okay, this is a science meniscus. your water will go like this. And you want to read the bottom in the center. Okay? So on this one, you're going to read right here. And since that's a really straight line right there, I'm going to erase it, but you're going to read right there. I'm going to write down what I know for sure. These are measured in milliliters, by the way. So what do I know for sure? 38. Now my last one always has to be my guess. Is it 38 exact, or is it a little bit more than 38? Is it less than 38? What do you think? 38 exact, so I put a 0 here, and milliliter. Okay, what about the other one? 22? Is it the same scale? 21 point. I heard 5. Is that about right? Yeah. If you put 4, that's okay. All right, so you need to be able to read and guess that last one between the lines. Okay, so you should have 38.0. So you have 3 significant figures. Here, so you have 3 significant figures. You want to pull as many significant figures from the equipment as you can. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to have to add things. Okay, guys, focus in the back. Okay, we're going to have to add things with significant figures and subtract things. And I say go old school. Go back to elementary. How did you add things or subtract things in elementary school? Okay, when your fingers didn't work, how did you add or subtract them? When it got too big? One on top and one on bottom. So if I had this, I would say, okay, 6.8, and then I would line up the decimals, 11.934, right? And then I would add it up, right? What you want to look at, and when I say go old school, is I set it up like this because the last place they have in common is the tenths place. So that's the last place I can report. Because if somebody measured the room this way, and they went all the way to 0.0001, and somebody measured the room this way and went to 1, I can't report to 0.001 because they didn't measure as accurately. So when I add this up, I go ahead and put it in my calculator now, because of course we can't remember how to do this by hand anymore, right? Okay, and I get this number. And then I say, oh, they were both significant. The last place they both had a number that was significant was the tenths place. So I can only report to this tenths place. I still look at this number right here, and if it's bigger, 5 or bigger, I round it up. If it's not, I drop it. It's not, I drop it. I would report this number. Okay, how many significant figures does it have? 3. Well, wait a minute, this one only had 2. How can I end up with 3? Because it's a bigger number. It didn't get any more accurate. Okay, both things were only accurate to the tenths place. They were only both right to the tenths place. If I tried to go to the hundredths place with 6.8, I remember on our last one, that last one was a guess. So now I'm doing a guess on top of a guess, and not so good. Okay? All right, so let's do one more. What happens if I have a big number? And I add to it this number. What place do I report it to, and how do I report it? Well, I'm going to add it up first because I just know I know how to add this. I'm going to put in my calculator, and I'm going to get an answer. What do I really report? I call this calculator throw up. When you put it in your calculator and you get something. Don't give me calculator throw up. Give me the right answer. What am I going to put? Nope. Good try, though. Good guess. What's the last place they both have in common? Is it the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, the... That's the last place they have in common. They both have a number that's significant at that place. So I look at this number that's past it, and it is bigger than 5, so I'm going to round up. So I'm going to report 364, right? No. Because that doesn't tell me how big it is. I have to replace these things with zeros. Okay, because remember, this one is like that guess. I'm guessing that last one. I'm taking my best guess. That's a guess. So there's my guess. I can't go to this one because this is the guess. This is a for sure thing, but this is a guess. But I don't even have anything close to it here. Okay, yes?
So you draw the line there because the next two zeros are non.
Right, these two right here are not significant. Okay? So I can't count them. All right? Does it make sense, sort of? Okay, let's go on. Now, everybody likes this one because it's easy. You don't have to think back to elementary school. It's so long ago anyway. Nobody wants to go back there, right? I do. It's so much fun. You get to play. You don't have to worry about work and school. You have a little bit of homework. Okay, this one, all you have to do is figure out how many significant figures each one has. So how many does this one have? 3. How many does this one have? 2. That 0 is significant because it tells me how well I measured. So guess what? My final answer can only have 2. So I put it in my calculator, and I get what? Has anybody got a calculator? Throw it through, please. I'm having one of those moments. I don't want to do it in my head. Okay, calculator throw gave me 12.76. I don't report that. What do I report? I can report 2 significant figures. What am I going to report? 13. Because I cut it off here, I look, I need to round up, and I end up with 13. Okay? What happens if I have something divided by something? Say that we had 300.27 divided by 12.3. Okay, how many significant figures here? 5. Those 2 zeros in the center are sandwiched. How many here? 3. How many can I have in the final? How many can I have in the final? 3. Okay, so calculator throw up, give it to me. Oh, sounds gross, huh? 24.4 what? 41. Okay, I can only have 3. What am I going to report? 24.4. Done. Because I cut it off here after 3. I look at it. It's a 1. I drop it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so add or subtract. Think back to elementary school. Line up the decimals. See what's significant. Last place, that's all I can report. But multiplying and dividing, how many significant, how many significant? Oh, I can only take the least. Okay, so let's do the next part here. Let's try it. See what you can do with this. Hopefully you've got a phone. If you don't have a calculator, that you can use your calculator on your phone and get it working. Please, please, please get a calculator, okay? Because I won't let you use your phone on the tests. Okay? Hi. New? Okay. Looks like last seat right here. What's your name? I need a piece of paper. Sorry. Were you in chemistry before? Okay, so what I need you to do is, Kayla, pick up everything that's in the red Gen Chem and the stuff on the back of the table. Okay? And we'll have you sit right back there. Uh-huh. I do have another place. If you want to sit up at the very front, you can. Your choice. Okay. I don't know where I put my extra. There they are, right in front of my face. Okay, give you another minute. Is that good, or are you still working? Good. Trying to find your calculator on your phone. That would be. I don't have my calculators got batteries in them yet, so I'll try and have them out ready next time. LMNOP. Okay, so you have a folder that you're tearing stuff in and out of right here. I just made it for you. Okay? Remember, if you get done, you can head on to your daily work. I'm going to come back in just a second. Okay, are we ready to share here? See, did one of you guys take my, oh no, it's up here. I keep wandering with all of these. Okay, who's got the answer to number 1? Who's going to be brave? Okay, Caitlin? Yes. Okay.
So there's 3 sixes. Oh, do I tell you that?
Just tell me the answer and we'll see if it's right.
24.5.
And it would be grams, right?
Yeah.
Anybody disagree? You disagree. You disagree. What do you think it is? Negative 24.5. Okay, now do you agree? Okay, good job. Okay, so this is my answer. You change colors. Sorry. Who would like to give the answer for number 2? Okay. 400 meters. Do I have any that disagree on that one? Okay, good job. That is right. Okay. On number 3, who would like to give me the answer? This one only has one significant figure, so I can only have one. So the calculator throw-up answer would be 410, right? But I can't show that one because I only have one significant figure. I guess to get that one. So I can only have one number here. So I have to look here, and it's not big enough to round up, so I drop it and just put a 0. Yes, because that shows me how big it is. If I took the zeros away, 4 is not the same as 410, right? But 400 is closer. Okay, number 3. Volunteer. Somebody has got it done. Okay, what is it? Don't know it? What is it? 2. Okay, do I have some that agree with that or disagree? Okay. 0.00. Good. What else? Something else is meters per second. Good. Don't forget the units. Now, we had to put the zeros on, even though when our calculator gave us it was just 2. But we had 3 significant figures here. We had 4 significant figures here. So I needed 3 significant figures here. A lot of times when we do calculations in our calculator, we'll end up with less than we need. That's when we add zeros after the decimal. Okay? We good? Okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a lab. So grab out the paper that says measurement lab. We are going to do this as our foursomes. Okay, so as a foursome, like this. Okay? Listen quickly. You're going to need to move a little bit fast. You're going to need to move within 5 buckets of thing, 5-minute period, or you're not going to make it. So what you're going to do is orange. You're in charge of picking up one of these buckets over here. Green. You're in charge of picking up a ruler for everybody in your group. Before you move, listen. On the front side, you are just measuring this shaded area with the different rulers that are on here. You're doing your best to give as many significant figures as your ruler at that point will allow. Okay, it's the same thing, but each ruler, because it's differently marked, will give you a different number of significant figures. On the back, you have 3 different baskets that you need to go through as a group and measure. There are only 10, and we have 40 people in here, and I've put you into groups of 4, so every group gets a basket. I would talk to the groups around you and switch baskets rather than have to get up, put it back, and wait. Somebody's going to bring one back. Somebody's going to bring one back. It's not going to happen. Just grab the group next to you and say, as soon as you're done, switch with me. And then grab another group next to you and another group next to you. Okay? So you can get your 3 baskets done. Okay? To shut off these scales, you have to double tap where it says on and off. Okay? They're just little scales, but you double tap where it says on and off. All right? Questions? Okay, move. Okay, front row, turn around, sit with second row. Third row, turn around, sit with fourth row. When you're finished, you're going to need to do a conclusion of 5 sentences, which includes what did I learn and what possible errors could there have been. A basket or the rulers, which one are you? The green should be getting the rulers, the orange should be getting the basket. Blue and red don't have to do anything this time. You need to get the rulers. Yeah, 4 rulers. That works. But you can't use that ruler. You got to use the ruler that's there for those ones. You're going to use that for what's in the basket. We get out of here at 12:20 today, so watch the front clock. You use the rulers that are there and try and guess what, to the best of your ability, what it is using that ruler. Number significant figures. So I do the basket side first and get it done, because if you have to, you can do the other side at home. You can't do the basket side at home.
There's just supposed to be normal water in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll fill it.
Thank you. She's giving you guys the best teacher ever.
There you go.
I am double tapping.
There you go. You're ready. To get it to 0, you just have to push tear, and it will go to 0. The ruler's for measuring your odd object. You're going to weigh it too. Yes. Yes. No, that's fine.
Do we apply those methods with this?
Yes. That's right. Yes. So as you're measuring, you're wanting to get as many as you can. So it shouldn't be 6. It should be 6 point something.
Oh,
And this one should be 0.4 something. Because you got to estimate between lines.
okay. It's just that this one was exact 1.6.
So you go 6.0. Okay. So you want to estimate as best as you can.
So it's just
hmm You want to get as many significant figures as you can.
this one.
Okay.
And then with my round this 9,
No, you keep. If you think it's a 9, then you keep it. It got the 9. The scale. As long as it stayed there and didn't waver, then that was right. Okay.